This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live market chat. Tuesday, February 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you're having a great day. Is it turnaround Tuesday? Worth keeping an eye on, right? We talk about turnaround meaning going the opposite direction. Is today the day the market melts? It's starting to feel a little toppy. We talk about rotation out of leaders into trash, seeing some of that. Also seeing just a lot of anomalies. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, a link in the description below. Gonna drop that sucker into the chat if I can get my mouse over there. Doink. And also too, if you want, hit me up anytime. I'll put the Calendly link in there too. If you want to hit me up, schedule time, let's talk. Speaking with Andrew today after this chat. I know people have questions. Again, let me know how I can help. I say this all the time. Worst case scenario, if I'm busy, we'll catch up at some point. I go out of my way to try to talk to everyone I can. Ultimately, because why? I mean, as most of you guys know, I'm also in real estate. I love helping out with that. I want to be, I don't know, your go-to person for real estate. And then also too, if you learn a thing or two about trading, it's a win-win for everybody. And then again, in my world, as I tell people, you give to get. Help people out and they help you out. You never know. You might have something you're special at and you can share your skills and knowledge with me. And also, again, with trading. I mean, trading isn't rocket science. But as I tell people, my goal is not to turn you into a bunch of day traders sitting around snorting coke trying to nail 1,000% gains every day, every morning. Sorry if that joke doesn't come across well to some people, but that's just the reality of how some people try to look at trading. So if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I have all the educational trading videos. Please check them out. The website, getting very close to being done, updated. Again, make sure you read these books. If you have the Stock Traders Almanac, you don't have it, man, copy. Here is the link. You guys should have the Stock Traders Almanac. It's pretty badass. And again, it talks about how the market will hold up going into potentially the middle of February. Not surprised, but we did rally. And so this is the thing I tell people. Here's the VPA book, and then here's the Remnants of Stock Operator. You have to be very careful. The seasonality isn't perfect, but it rotates around certain reoccurring themes. So middle of February, usually a hangover after some pop up in earnings after the first drop in January. And so, I mean, it's literally lining up perfect. Like, check this out. Like, look at the cues. Look at the cues. Drop again, not perfect. January, retest February. Keep an eye on that stuff, okay? Got any questions? Again, leave a comment. Yeah, follow on Twitter, posting. Again, if you're in the Discord room, I apologize. Letter X, I don't know what the hell they call it now, used to allow sharing on the Discord room in the charts and Twitter posts, but they stopped. And so please make sure you're following on Twitter. Here, I'll drop another link. Get it. You got to do it. Again, I apologize that they're not working and sharing anymore. It's just the nature of the beast. But at this point, it just is what it is. You can cry about spilled milk. I've been trying to hit up Discord and trying to be like, hey, can you guys get this to work? They're like, it's letter X. It's Elon's fault. All right, see me watch tool. Let's hit the refresh button. Ding, 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 ding. No rate cut coming in March. We'll see again. That could change based on the market action. The Bitcoin. Got to drink my Monster Energy today. This video is sponsored by Monster Energy, the white label one. Well, low sugar, no sugar, whatever. No, it's get a little caffeine here. I mean, we've talked about Bitcoin being very technical, trapping, doing what traps, doing what technical stuff can do. Look, it takes a 20% dive, makes a little lower low, bounces back. Now you're stuck. You got to get over 44,000. I would not be bullish on Bitcoin until it does. The good old oil stuck. We anticipate choppiness. Again, it's like something poetic. Think of something poetic, Dan. I'm like, no, just choppiness. Same thing with natural gas. I really like natural gas down here. I really don't think there's much downside. And we talk about that with the KOLD trade. Look at that sucker getting up in the 118s. People are like, oh, what do I do now? I'm like, this is why you layer in. That's why you layer in. Speaking of KOLD, posted that on Twitter. Check this out. Again, if you've been layering in bits and pieces, now this is why I said be careful, because we know the market could pull back and natural gas could get blasted at any point. And how far, how much, how wide the blast radius ends up being and taking natural gas, I don't think it's going to be much. Again, think about it. Like, if the market crashes, like, what stocks have the most room to drop, right? Obviously, right? Not natural gas. It's already been sold. And so, again, if you're looking at UNG, again, I don't really typically like this product because it decays too. I'd rather short KLD, but if you can't get the shares to short, which I can understand, brokerages are pretty stiff on that. I mean, somewhere near 18. That's what I'd look at. Oil, as we talked about, all over the place. Don't really worry about it. Apple, here's some of the, let's just talk about the trades. Unless you have questions, please interrupt. I'm liking this 20-day, maybe even the 8-10 day, like this whole like confluence area. And this is where we always talk about be careful bringing a ruler to trading. I mean, if you can short here, tighten your stop up, $1, whatever you need it to be, $2, whatever. Not a bad risk reward because it literally was just back at 180. So would you risk $1 to make 10? $2 to make 5? I don't know. I mean, if this is a failure and it's lower lows, lower highs, and it's playing this game, right? Comes right back down. Maybe it tries to do it, fail. You got game, y'all. Amazon, I mean, a lot of these names are blow-offs. They have to digest. But keep in mind, watch the 3-day range lows. Right? Keep an eye on that. Sorry, someone just chat me up. Keep an eye on that, mother. There's a lot of these names. Like, look at Goog, right? 20-day. 20-day, 20-day, 20-day. Amazon, or sorry, Meta, can't really do much about it. But here again, like, watch these lows. Because, again, I mean, I'm not saying go out there and short with every share you have. But if you can do a smaller trade, because, again, you're not at the highs, and you see the range lows, if they break, opens the door. This makes sense? Any questions, thoughts, concerns? If you shorted Netflix up in the 570s, you're looking pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised at worst you fill this gap and at worst test down here. So you've got some room to run on this little bugger. Run, little bugger, run. Right? Tesla, not surprised it bounced it. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I know people are looking at it. Long, short, long. Let me move this up here so I can see if you guys have any messages as we're chatting. Long, short, long. This is tough. I mean, it's holding the channel lows. Trash floating a little bit, like, you know, turd up. Floating turd. We'll see. I mean, I look at it and I go, do you really want to trade it? Because this is the thing. I mean, it's not going to be a one-time drop. It's looking more like it's going to be just choppy and sloppy. And my biggest concern is if the market pulls the rug out, adios. So, just, I don't know, worth keeping an eye on. Let's get into what everyone's here for. Semis. If you bought the Soxus in the last couple days, you are looking good. If you bought it up here, you're looking good. Double top. Intel, this thing has been turd. Has its ex-div today. Whoop-de-doo, whopping 12 cents. Is a bigger yield than Meta's. Look at this, NVIDIA. I said on record, on the daily review, I said, is this a 3-gap trap? 1, 2, 3, engulfing bar. Now, again, fills the gap here. There might be buyers at the 663, and that's the low of the day. Not surprising there is. We'll see what happens. AM Dizzle, look at this. Lower highs, better hold the 20-day. Micron, we talked about this being an absolute turd biscuit. Breaking the 20 days. See that? See it. Taiwan Semi, look at this. Now, again, this is why you always layer in. You expect retests, you expect games. Look at today's candle. Do you trust this? Keep an eye on this. If it gets back under 118, like 60s where it's at, looks good. Someone has a question. Can you look at Oxy? Again, I've said this over and over. I wouldn't trade oil and gas. I mean, it's just going to be trading in a range. And the scary part is I don't think we're breaking out. I think the biggest, again, at least near term, I think the biggest risk is until the Feds pivot. Said this 1,000 times. The best time to buy commodities is when the Feds pivot because that's when they're going to be pumping liquidity. The biggest risk to Oxy is that it takes out the lows. So, again, I mean, if you want to trade it, I think there's just better, interesting, more, I don't know, simple trades, if that's the best way to describe it. Just got to be careful. I don't like Occidental at all here, because I know Buffett doesn't care if it goes down. Right? You go look at oil. Right? Like, what does oil say that to me says bullish? It just looks like a big, sloppy, choppy range. I mean, you're going to not get any follow-through in the oil service names until it breaks over $79 a barrel, in my opinion. And they have all the room to drop if it doesn't. And XPI, yeah, they did. Let's look at that one, Eric. Sorry about Oxy. I'm just not really that interested. Interesting action, yeah. Look at this. Lower highs. I mean, look at the reference zone here. That 224, 225 area is going to be a beast to get over. Airbnb sucking. Costco starting to melt a little bit. Maybe left-right combo. Talked about left-right combo and what trade did I say was a left-right combo? Let's go back to Twitter. I can't remember. Give me 2 seconds. Which ones did I say look like the best? Look like a left-right combo. Give me 2 seconds. Who was it? Was it Apple? Caterpillar? No, it's the Qs. Nah, it's QQQ. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, it's just, see, Oxy doesn't look interesting to me. And this is why, again, do this long enough. When you see stocks that are in these big trading ranges, like, what's the easiest trade? When it breaks out of it. If it goes below it, it could be a trap and then done and rally out. Because think about it. All the people who bought in this area are nervous little fucking Nellies. Excuse my language. Right? Nervous little Nellies. If it breaks below it, So this is where, again, if you like oil long-term on supply issues, and Occidental is the shit, which, again, I think Buffett knows what he's doing. He's going to do things. Like, he's going to wait for it to scare out below and then sell puts, and then it's game on. And then, obviously, this will be resistance and resistance again, but that's the easiest trade. Or the easiest trade is, like, letting this break out, waiting for 68. Because if it breaks out, you have no sellers, right? These nervous Nellies were like, well, I waited for this. I'm not selling now. So all of a sudden, again, it becomes a liquidity game. That's why I talk about volume price analysis. Like, think about it. This is a liquidity game. Ain't nobody selling. Ain't nobody selling when it breaks out. These guys have been holding for 2-3 years, whatever it is. They're not going anywhere. But if they break below it, that's how you release the liquidity. Release the Kraken. So, didn't get a chance to go over Taiwan semi, really. I mean, I love this setup. I love when they trap this. If that's what you got to do. I thought this was it. But if you got to do it like that, that's fine. Just get it over with. Just get it over with. So, any thoughts, questions, concerns? Again, I can keep rattling through them. Good old Starbucks talking about trash floating, right? Okay. Yeah, carry. Yeah, of course. Look at this. Okay. Speaking of carry, takes out new lows. Let me check briefing real quick. Let's see if there's anything cooking on there. Yeah, Treasury Secretary Yellen in his congressional hearing says that commercial real estate is an area that could have a stability risk and Treasury is monitoring it closely. That's what she was saying. She's talking. Wow, Crown. Beverage and food down 13% today. Bearish guidance, interesting. Trying to see if there's anything else I might have missed today. That New York bank dropped a bunch today. Yeah, those New York banks got issues. I mean, think about New York as a city, state, dealing with all the crap. Here you go. Here, let me post this. I mean, here's some of the New York economic stuff. You want to hit pause and go back and look at it, just kind of looking at some stuff. Anyway, yep, that's what's up. Briefing.com, if you have a chance and you want to look into it. I don't have any referral codes, anything. I just think it's a good service. It pushes all the news, all the earnings stuff. It's really amazing. Again, I probably get in trouble just dropping that in the live stream, but I'll use it as an ad. JP Morgan announced that it will open more than 500 new branches, renovate. Yeah, okay, they're spending more money. Planter had some okay action. I'm curious if that thing is still holding up today. PLTR, because everyone's killing it. And oh shit, AI space. Look at that volume. Holy shit. Interesting. ITB. Yeah, housing's been all over the place. We talked about, I mean, again, I see it in the market. Again, high end stuff can't sell. Low end stuff, I mean, that's the thing. People always need housing, right? Like, there's always gonna be a need. The low end stuff is holding up well, and again, they're allowing people to put 3.5% down with the FHA, 5-10% with mortgage insurance. So, I mean, I think the low end stuff, it's just when you get over jumbo loans, those guys are screwed because no one's putting down 20-30%, and then also that interest rate, right? Yeah, it is kind of a complex head and shoulder. It's a choppy, sloppy bastard, right? And here's another example of like the easiest trade, right? Like once this thing, I mean, again, if you're shorting up here, cool. But when it breaks this, you can absolutely pound the table with that thing. That's my guess. Caterpillar, just kind of bouncing around. Said I thought yesterday was the top. Looking good. Someone like Nucor for a breakout. Can't remember who asked. It's like, man, it's really tough to trust it. It's really tough to trust it. Like, we couldn't get over it. Not surprised it backed off. Watch the 8-10 day. Yeah, financials. Scary. I mean, you got to be careful. I mean, I'm just curious what the FXI is doing today because China's just a beast. Okay, it rallied up today. Zoom out. We're back at longer term lows, right? Whew. Yeah, look at that thing. So give me 2 seconds. Got a cool text. Not cool text from somebody. Sorry, someone has a real estate question. Always try to answer real estate questions pretty quickly, especially from clients. If we're working together, again, that's my job. Again, I'm not a people pleaser. I just try to help out. But if you have real estate questions, I know what it's like to be in a real estate transaction. You're like, what do I do? I have this question. It's like, man, if I can answer it quickly, even during live chat, boom. Carrie looks like a dumper. Yeah, it just is what it is. It's like, could today be the day? Some people are like, yeah, that day that never comes. I'm like, okay, we'll see. It can come quick. I mean, do not be surprised. And someone's gonna, and again, I'll go on record. Do not be surprised if NVIDIA has like a down 50 to 100 day. I mean, it could easily. I mean, if it rips, it does a double, 50, 100 points, it ain't shit, right? 10%. It's less than 10%. Like, that's not out of the realm of craziness. You're crazy, Dan. I don't know. Are we? I mean, I've seen this stuff happen so often, and people are like, well, and this is the thing. If it ends up looking like old Cisco's, the old tech names, that's what they did. They had big monster down days. So do yourself a favor. Don't believe in uncertainty. Like, everyone believes it's going higher. That's the thing. The more certain, I hate to call retail retards, but that's kind of like the retail trader. I mean, let me see if I can find this stuff, because there's some guys that literally, like, when I see them post on StockTwits, that's why I follow them. I get like excited. Because I'm like, oh yeah. Let me see if I can find his post. Give me 2 seconds. I'm telling you, oh, you're picking on people. I'm like, man, I'm sorry. These guys are always wrong. I don't know how they have followers on StockTwits. Let me see if I can find it. Basically, it was saying buy any and all dips from now on AMD. Where'd it go? I can't find it. Let me see. Anyway, doesn't matter. that's the point. Like, I mean, this guy's like at the highs, not confident at the lows, right? Just all at the highs, right? It's like, okay, yeah, that's just stupidity. Where can I find? All right, it's just too far deep. TLT testing 20-day 10-year auction deck with Wednesday and 30. Ooh, yeah, that has not gone well. Yield spike to end the week. I mean, it feels like yields are gonna be in a gamey position. I mean, if I'm the Feds, I want the market to tank so people buy bonds. And as long as we hold this 93, 94 area, it's it's a big choppy range. So I mean, you could trade it. Yeah, got everyone to buy the dip, down the pop, then down, then pop, train them, then just train downs. Yep. Yeah, they get trapped. That's what happens. I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about unless you've been there. Gold, yawn, silver, snoozer, GDX, cool. I don't know. I mean, again, it's just big choppy ranges. And this is where I tell people, like, be careful. If you get caught in these things, they just totally ruin your life. And I say, like, ruin your life. Like, you're like, oh, today's going to be the day that it breaks out. No, probably not. And if it is, you probably got to get past a lot of the what? Past all the bad news. Just curious here. Leave a comment below if you got any Soxus in the fours yesterday. Ooh. Again, I'm not saying this thing. I mean, this thing needs a reverse split. But this looks real juicy for a double. I mean, I'll take a 5 to 10. 5 to 10. Liking the FAZ. Liking that a lot. I mean, it's not a hard trade if you have to define your risk. If you're trying to, and again, if you're wrong, you're wrong. I mean, it's just the nature of trading. Some people are like, oh, can't be wrong, I'm all in. I'm like, don't do that, please. Please. Ag names, just chop around, just trying to like going through the universe of universes here. Interesting that transports pop today. Right? Like, it's interesting because I'm like, FedEx. Where you at, dog? Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Just like Nike, I'm like looking at some of these names. I mean, it's got to hold this 99 level. No, QCOM had their earnings recently. Coin, everybody's on coin stuff. It's like, oops. Someone doesn't believe in coin. Meta, I'm just amazed that I mean, how dumb. I guess I can't say dumb because if you bought it earlier, great. But if you didn't sell on the day of earnings, I don't want to call you dumb. But were you also the one, like, if you were not selling up here, were you selling, people sell low, they buy high. It's like you got caught in the freaking spin cycle. We'll see. Any thoughts, questions, concerns? Microsoft? Again, seeing a lot of like little things. I'm just like, just feels like the market's playing this game of chop until it's about to break. And in my opinion, there's so many things that could go wrong near term, and everything has to go right near term. And again, have the Feds ever navigated a soft landing? No. Not with this many rate hikes. No, they just haven't. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? If not, I will wrap it up, put a bow on this son of a biscuit. Man, website is coming along. Here, I'll drop it in there. It's going to be way slicker. Way slicker. Updated videos on it so I don't have to do stuff. Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. That'll be there. Yeah. Any other things? Thoughts, concerns? Yeah. Any other thoughts, concerns? All right, let's look at this. This is Dan. Thoughts on JP Mo? Oh God. What do I think? Been a sticky bugger. I mean, it's like the XLF, right? You have references. You have the trap. That's the top. There's the trap, right? I wonder if I just rotate to carry. I mean, I think the easiest trade is FAS and then shorting carry. But you got to be careful shorting the carry at this point. I mean, you really shouldn't actually. Like, look at the down. Like, look at the levels. I mean, just if you take out the lows, just ugly. I mean, you down, rally a couple days. Let's go look at the previous like shit cycles. I feel like you're gonna need news to crack the bank on this one, because it could just be a slow burn. It could be like this stuff where it goes. Ooh, excusez-moi. Insights buying again. I saw the news on them. They're stock. I'm learning a lot about this one watching the 100 days. So, any notable semi-still to report earnings? Give me 2 seconds. I don't think. I mean, I know you obviously have some important earnings coming up, because you have good old when's Nvidia's exact date? February 21st. Other than that, I don't know. Give me 2 seconds. I'll look at the earnings. I didn't see any major ones. This week, right? Yeah. No. Let's see about next week. Avago, yeah. I mean, they're not for a couple. I mean, not for the near term. Why is that's the one thing about briefing, is it's slow. Next week you've got none on Monday. Krispy Kreme on Tuesday. Sorry, they're not a semi name. Nope, nothing on Tuesday really. Wednesday, nothing much. See if after the close on Wednesday. No, I mean, this is the peak earnings season. It's tapping out. You have Baidu next week, but they're not obviously semis. Let's see if there's any big ones. No, it looks like you're getting into the miners next week, which is going to be an absolute shit show probably. MU, yeah. That Krispy Kreme AI play, I like your thinking. Donuts on the mind of everyone. Yeah, there's none next week that I see. So, yeah. Krispy Kreme's out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I remember having their donuts when they were new, and they put like a store up in Raleigh when I was living there. I was like, whoa. Like, man, how many donuts? I was like, man, again, having a donut shop is different than like they were literally just producing donuts, and people just drive through and they would just pick up donuts. And it wasn't like Krispy Kreme's. I mean, at the time, I don't think they were doing anything special. It was just like, hey, fat ass, come stroll through and grab some donuts. Drive through. I need 2 dozen for my work. Get everybody fat and happy. How productive is everyone when they're eating their donuts? Oh, I had 3 donuts in my coffee this morning. Snooze. Sugar coma. Knocked out. Just ranting. Look at Adobe. Look at this, man. Retest the highs. Kapow. This is hard. I mean, this is the thing about swing trading and choppiness. You know, when the VIX spikes, it's so much easier to know that you're close to like V-ish bottoms. When the VIX is low, it's like, man, and it doesn't pick up. Like, we could play in this world of just annoyance for as long as it takes. Like, we need the VIX to break out to confirm anything. Speaking of, it's flat today. Right? Yeah, hashtag butthurt. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You got to be careful with semis and earnings. I mean, clearly you know that. I don't know. We need to break out of this. I personally just, again, the only semi I have is Taiwan semi. It's playing games. I don't really, again, I have such long dated puts on on this. And I also have a little bit of shares. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. China, whenever you guys want to come and invade, you let us know. I'll be curious to see how it reacts then. Man, some of these global growth names. It's just such a weird market. Such a crappy market. I mean, look at what's up today. Solar's up, but gasoline's down. Okay, that makes sense. Your guess as good as mine. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns, ideas? If not, I will wrap her up. Probably won't do the daily market review until later. I got some errands to run the next 2 days. I've got buyers looking for properties in the Denver area, which, again, they're all looking sub 6, which I think is a good price range. Again, if you're looking at something over 800 to $1 million, you got to check out the mortgage on that sucker. And if you're looking to sell, you got to make sure you get your buyers to qualify. And I think one of the things that a lot of sellers are really hesitant to do, because agents don't know shit about shit, is that offer them credits. Offer to help pay their closing costs. Be like, here, if you pay a little bit over market price, I'll credit you back at the closing to help with your closing. Housing insurance gone. Yeah, housing insurance premiums are fucking... Oh, well, you just triggered my excitement, Shannon. Yes, frustrating. Housing insurance premiums have gone up. Shit, our car went up another 20%. I haven't done anything. It's like I need to get into a wreck now. Oh, God. Knock on wood. No, I don't. At least replace my windshield. It's been cracked. It doesn't bother me. It's cracked in a weird area. No, Shannon. Hey, I empathetically feel you on this. It bothers me because I'm like, why? Like, my home value is down. Housing costs are, I don't know, come down, but you guys are raising premiums at 20, 30%. Like, that's bullshit. That is some crap. Come on, Biden, do your job. No, I don't know. I wouldn't blame Biden, but you know what I mean? Like, somebody. Congress noticed that insurance gouging going on, especially I know in Florida, they're trying to fix stuff. It just sucks. And that's where you have to be able to leverage debt and be smart. Because again, if you try to play by the rules and do everything the right way, you just can't get out of the rat race. You just can't. Costs keep rising. Your job never pays you enough. Your savings can't keep up with inflation. It's just a nightmare. Yeah, Cali. Yeah, I mean, our premiums went up big here in Colorado too. So I'm big in Florida. It's just a darn shame. Like, think about back in the day. I mean, I was watching something, and again, if you need a role, not ask a question, but it was talking about like watching The Simpsons 20, 30 years ago and how Homer had a job at the power plant and Marge didn't work, and look at their house. They had 2 kids, a dog and a cat, and he could afford to pay. And they were talking, I mean, just like referencing like what the typical person was able to do on one salary to buy a house, provide for his family, own a car. Now it's like you got one job. I mean, unless you're making, and it's in $100,000, salary isn't really that great anymore. If you try to qualify for a house, you're not getting much. Pretty scary. And that's where, again, I think if you near-term housing is complete crapshoot. I'd rather be a buyer on big dips. If you're looking to sell, you got to be very creative. You got to get buyers in there. You got to get buyers in there by advertising well. You got to do the right things, meaning, hey, do everything you need to do to get them done. If you have to, say your house is listed at $800,000 and you're like, wow, man, we really need to help them get the close. A buy down, again, maybe that helps them, but also offering closing costs. Be like, listen, if you pay over, we'll help you get the, we'll refund you that at the close. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. It's coming out of the seller's proceeds. Well, if you get an extra $20,000 and they agree to $820,000, you can refund them that $20,000 back, and then you're back at $8,000. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Because again, I look at the market. I see someone do Tesla call for 2 weeks out. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. TSM 45 puts for September. 45. Whoa. Just reading some of the comments. Trying to look at things, just see if I'm missing anything. Any anomalies popping up in my charts. Nope. Invasion play. 41 cents is not cheap. Yeah. That's pretty great. Solstice is my man Jay is posting some stuff, and someone's buying puts out to September on TSM. I like the trade. I don't know about 41 cents. Yeah, you would think they'd be like a penny, right? Because that's incredibly deep out of money. Good find. Premiums are up on Taiwan Semi. Somebody knows. The nose knows. Right? At some point. All right. I'm trying to drag this out. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, feedback. If not, Andrew, hit me up. You got my number. 876-54309 or whatever. 8675. Yeah, whatever that song is. 8675309. That's my number. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Again, daily review a little later. Keep in mind, turnaround Tuesday could be a choppy day. Look at the cues. I mean, that's all I'm really watching here because I'm like, is this a left-right combo? We really clearly, obviously, need to break the 8-10 day combo here. And if it is, and it takes out the 423, back to the 20-day and the trend line, rapido at worst this gap fill. Yeah, of course, Shannon. Again, if you have any questions about real estate, let me just preface this. If you have a low interest rate, that is a bargaining chip because buyers, if they can take it over, subject to seller financing, that's how you can unlock some value if you're a seller. And also if you're a buyer, you're just not sure if you can qualify. I tell this to people all the time. The banks are the ones getting rich off of mortgages. You can be the bank. You can talk to a seller and ask them, hey, are you willing to take on risk? Here's my financials. Here's what I got in play. If I lose, you foreclose on me. You get the house back. Doesn't sound that bad, does it? All right. Have a wonderful afternoon, wonderful day. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for posting with friends. You guys are amazing. If you ever have any questions, again, check out my Coulling link. Do not be scared to book something. Always here to help grow, learn. All right. Peace out. Keep an eye on Taiwan Sen. That's interesting. Later.